Just the tipping, it's all about the burnouts and smoke. Tires go bald and the dream stays woke. Doc and Ray, yeah, bringing that flame. Skid syndicate style, dripping in game. Kiwi to Aussie and looking further for fame. Just the tipping, remember the name. Drip, drip, drip.
What's going on, guys? I'm Doc, this is Ray, you're watching Just the Tippin'. And tonight we've got a really cool guest that we had to postpone, unfortunately, once before. And this is Adrian Hodgson from Out There Productions, or I guess we'd say SUMMERNATS. Welcome, bro. Thank you for spending the time. SUMMERNATS Pro Burnouts. Welcome.
It's been a long time coming. Good to finally talk to you face to face instead of Facebook Messenger and emails and, and every other thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And honestly, we really got to thank you for your time, because I know I fucking left my beer over there. Hang on.
Well, cheers anyway.
I won't cut that out. Right, so... oh, fuck, where was I?
Got your beer.
Oh, I got my beer. Yeah, that's how we do. So, no, we've been looking forward to talking to you for quite some time, and we really appreciate you taking this time to have a yarn with us, because I know exactly how busy you are, looking at all the brands that you've got sort of under your umbrella. It's quite crazy. And so maybe, like, quickly, do you want to give us, because you've been with, so it's Out There Productions, is that the company?
Out There Group is sort of the catch-all for everything. Out There Productions is one of the companies. Right. There's just so much going on now.
Honestly, I couldn't even see, I just put in outthere.com.au and I was just lost. It looks quite massive.
There's lots going on. The business has been going, so Out There Productions was started by the two Andys. So there's an Andy Lopez that most people know, and another fella called Andrew B that a lot of people don't know. And they started that business nearly 30 years ago, and they were running events for other people, sporting events and big school shows and Pope visits and rugby league grand finals, and it sort of grew from there.
Right.
And then I guess 15 years ago, one of their clients gave them the heads up that maybe the SUMMERNATS was for sale and that they thought it would be a good fit, and they never looked back. So came car guys.
Wow. So that's really cool. And you know, the umbrella that you've got is all the nats basically, I guess, and Motorex and just all sorts. You must be an incredibly busy human.
When I started, I contracted for a little bit, but when I started with the company full time is about 10 years ago.
Right.
And it was just SUMMERNATS on the car festival side. It was just SUMMERNATS at this new event that we just run called Red Santa Nats in Alice Springs. So there was two events and there was one me, and that was fine. Now there's all of the car festivals and Motorex and Pro Burnout Series and the National Drag Racing Championship, and I'm back into publishing with Street Machine.
Love that magazine.
A whole other side of the business, and there's a lot going on. Believe me, it's really cool. But I've got an amazing team. I don't do it by myself anymore.
Of course,
and the SUMMERNATS as a whole has sort of grown to, or Out There Group has grown to sort of 40-ish people now.
Wow.
I think I was employee number 6 or something. I don't remember.
That's really cool. That's quite a neat story. So, what's your understanding of the complete SUMMERNATS history from sort of day one? How far do you go back in your knowledge of the event?
Look, it gets blurry when you go back too far. But I'm obviously part of the event for, say, nearly 11 years, 10 years full time. I was actually in automotive publishing before that. I worked for a bunch of magazines. We produced a bunch of magazines here in Australia, basically everything except Street Machine.
Okay.
And so I used to go to SUMMERNATS every year as a journo, if you like, or I don't like using the J word, but we'd go to SUMMERNATS every year and cover it, and have an amazing time. So that was probably another 10 or 11 years before that. So what does that take us back to about?
Right. Okay.
And then before that, I'd say 3 or 4 years as a punter, just as a spectator. So back a little way, but got to meet Chick Henry through being part of the business and hear a fraction of his amazing stories about the late 80s and early 90s, and it was a wild time.
That's when sort of Ray and I had the experience over here at SUMMERNATS on VHS. He probably watched it a little bit more than me, but I do remember going and getting the SUMMERNATS videos from the shop and watching them and just being like, wow.
Yeah, that's
So-
like,
It was
yeah.
pretty crazy back then. There's a lot of stuff that they used to do back then that we can't get away with.
Yeah.
By the same token, there's a bunch of stuff that came back. We didn't have the city cruise for a long time, and it came back, and getting a closer working relationship with government and police, and they trust that you run a good event.
Yeah.
And do nice things. So it's been a bit of an adventure. I've just tacked on for the last 10 years, but I've ride the coattails of other people that have done it for a
Yeah,
long
that was quite a legacy, isn't there?
In those times, though, you've seen quite a different change through the scope of the event, from the different how it's run and different
The
changes.
evolution, yeah.
Especially.
Yeah. There's from the stories that Chick could tell us about the wild times and the stuff that used to go on, and the reason why the army was introduced to the event.
Well,
fairly tactical.
That's what's always amazed me is like the event is in Canberra. It's the capital of Australia.
Yeah, and there is
it's
armies
like-
there, isn't there?
That's where you're going to
Canberra?
have your, if anywhere in any of your states, that's where your heartiest defence mechanisms are all going to always be thinking
Yeah.
about Canberra.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're.
It's
So when that week
always
prior,
army mates out.
when that week prior, building to SUMMERNATS, when they know it's like, all right, it's end of blooming coming into the new year, the army and the whole defence system knows it's like SUMMERNATS is coming to town.
Mate, they already got their eye on the politicians, so you know what I mean. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Yeah, I would 100% imagine. Although we sort of know from experience, talking to a lot of Australians, I've lived in North Queensland for a few years, that the laws over there are a lot stricter. We get away with driving a hell of a lot more on our roads here. We're going to have a supercharger right out the fucking bonnet as long as someone's done a tick on a bit of paper. And
Well, just off, just bonnets off. in
bonnets
general.
off.
Like in Tauranga, where we live, like rotaries, cars.
We've got a
and
friend,
different
whose
cars.
car hasn't had a warrant registration since 2013, and he drives that car on the road to this day.
Yeah.
A bright coloured rotary,
noisy, and it's just like being pulled over as well.
pulled
so
over to
it's
got big things to worry
There's a
about.
really cool old video I remember from New Zealand, and you say the laws are strict over here, they really are, and they enforce it pretty hard.
Yeah.
But there's, the Highway Patrol TV show.
yes.
The Australian Highway Patrol versus the New Zealand version of Highway Patrol.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they're two different shows.
Right.
I remember there's a really famous old video of this bloke, funnily enough, in a rotary. It was bright yellow, if I remember correctly.
In New Zealand one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, young fella.
Cruises on
Clint.
Highway Patrol.
Yeah, he was in the.
And you know what? Kiwi cops are the vibe. It's less so.
It was an RX. It was a
Yeah,
four-door
well,
RX3 sedan, and he was a young fella, and he had not long finished building it. And the cop gave him props for like, this is nicely built. There's no way I'm ticketing him. And where they were parked, the side of the motorway. So he was travelling, I think, over towards North Shore. So he's like, even where he pulled him over, it was like he could have easily like been rear-ended. Like it could have been a different moment go down. But like, I know exactly the video you're about.
My exposure to the New Zealand car scene started a lot further back, out of an import guy at heart and a drag racing guy at heart.
Right.
So, I used to watch all of it back, early days of the internet.
Import X.
And all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of that stuff with Ketzel Sterling.
Oh,
and
yes,
those
yep.
guys that, I'm mates with Azar forever.
Excellent,
Back in
yeah.
the Ford Rotary days. And,
Yes.
I've been mates with him for probably 20 years.
Nice.
And it was always really cool because I was a Styline guy, and they were all already there. They were already really established in New Zealand.
Yes.
We just wanted them, but they were thin on the ground and they were really expensive. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of Kiwi inspiration in my head when it comes to the kind of
So
cars
you would
I'm
have
into as well.
you would have heard like and known and been following like advanced imports over here when all the Skyline stuff, like big workshop. They were pumping out some big
Those
tough
guys,
stuff.
Robbie Ward at Ribs.
Yep.
Mate, I
his
used to
best
work
mate.
for Robbie Ward.
That's
I
his
just
mate.
had in my
Did you
head.
really?
Oh, mate, back in Rotorua back in the day, and I just had in my mind, I remember because Robbie Ward was valiant. He was Mopar or fucking no car, mate. And I tell you, all day, every day, leather fucking pants, knickers. Bro, parties at his place, the fucking, you know, you on the Waikato's and the spray can would go in the shit. And then we were doing cars, you know, and a fucking R32 Godzilla coming. It was like $30,000 or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. In the early 90s, or whatever it was, and he just fucking ditched the Mopar, bro, and just went. So I was there when inception point when Robbie Ward turned to.
I've been on the cans with him much.
Right.
Usually when he's over here for Jambo and stuff, and honestly, he's a great bloke. Us just shitting on each other, like, giving each other heaps, and you know, doing the Australian thing, and then but we have always agreed on other kings. So
how
it's
good.
Fun.
Isn't it like 6 years separation, mate? Me and Robbie, I've known Robbie, boy, how old am I? 50? I've known him for probably 30 odd years. So we've had some times. We've had some fucking times. But we don't want to talk about that. So look, you've obviously got a bit of a history with automotive then. Like, so when you sort of, you know, quite a young fella, were you into cars? Was that where you wanted to go, or was it from a journalistic point?
Yeah, it's more the second part. I never intended to build it out of automotive.
Right.
It just sort of happened. I've been into cars since I knew what a car was. My dad drove a Falcon.
Up the Falcons.
XB, I think Falcon 500.
Oh, yes.
And I was always a Ford guy, always a Dick Johnson, John Bow guy in touring cars.
Yep.
And then turbo stuff happened. I like the Sierras, but then the GDRs happened. And I've been a Ford guy. I still bleed blue.
Yes.
And I'm still a big Ford guy. But always into cars. As soon as I got my license, I started doing dumb shit with cars. Even really, really slow cars.
Yeah. You're one of us. You're one of us.
It was junk. Honestly, the first new car I bought was a Mitsubishi Mirage.
Oh, yeah.
99. I had a shitbox before that.
Had the power shift. Had the power shift lever. Had the two little levers with it.
That's a bit late for
Honestly,
that.
It was a nugget at 70 horsepower. It didn't do anything particularly well, and it had a massive stereo in it. So I went from that to my first turbo car and never looked back.
What do you drive now?
Yeah.
What do you drive now?
I've come full circle. So I've got the family car stuff. There's the Volkswagen 4-drive thing for towing the boat.
Right.
But
Tiguan.
I found
Tiguan.
the Touring.
Touring.
Oh, Touring.
Yeah, just for towing stuff, race cars.
Yeah, they're good.
But
They're
I've
good
gone
vehicles.
full circle. I found a white 99 Mitsubishi Mirage. So I went down and bought it, doing all the stuff I couldn't afford to do when I was 18 or 19.
How
You're gonna
good.
cruise. Hey, you're gonna cruise SUMMERNATS in that 1 year. Like you take it.
Oh God, no.
So what's your that 96 spec?
Yeah, well, pretty much. It's got a era correct momos on it. It's got some Recaro seats and a stereo and that kind of thing.
Right.
But it still makes about 70 horsepower. It is a nugget. But then the toy cars is the turbo Nissan. So a race car that doesn't run at the moment and a street car that doesn't run at the moment. So it's the full petrol head experience.
Oh, good work. How good is that? All right, so look, there's a few questions that we got asked on the internet, or people wanted to ask you. And one of them was from Wimmera. Is it Wimmera? Wimmera in Australia, Wimmera. And
South Australia, mate.
they're a burnout club. They're a burnout club over there. And what they asked is how. Hang on, I'll go back to my piece of paper. Looks like paper on here. They wanted to ask, how do they go about applying for any sort of sponsorship or something like that? It wasn't quite how they asked the question. They asked if, would you sponsor their pad? But I don't think that's actually, going to happen. But is there any did you sort of offer help towards, new pads starting up, and do you look at them as a potential qualifying pad, or what's the deal?
Always, yeah. When there's a club that's really motivated, particularly if it's a new club, first of all, we hear about it because they usually ask the same question.
Yeah.
So we know about it. Things where we do like to offer help, and it's for them to reach out to me directly, that'd be fine. They're setting up and they're new. we've got really good safety stuff that we can help with advice. We've got, procedures and judging and things that not me, but people for the last 30-something years have spent literally decades perfecting,
Right.
trying to perfect, growing, evolving, to sort of do the right thing by the competitors. And
Yes.
you do that, you put on a great show and the spectators love it, and you run a safe event. The benefit of having a new pad that runs safe events that are well attended, that people get a kick out of, that have a really high quality, is that we start looking at it for Pro Burnout Series qualification.
Yeah.
That sort of becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy where
Yes.
if the good cars come, then the people come,
Yeah.
and it's good for everybody. So we don't directly sponsor pads. We do want to know about it, and we do want to help because there's stuff that we're pretty okay at that we had to make it for everyone.
I think we'll hit that in a second, but just
Did you know what
I
you were
know
gonna say?
exactly what the fuck you're going to say. But just on that, I think that's probably something, and it just clicked to mind when you said it. It's probably something that people don't think of to be a very important part of running a decent motorsport club or event or place, is the policies and procedures that if you don't press the right T and tick the right I, you could possibly be falling out with all sorts of consents and councils and police and stuff. So that's actually quite a big thing. If you really think about it, it's probably worth fucking 50 grand.
In time it takes to develop a procedure and policies and manuals and stuff like that, probably.
Yes, and I've worked on them, so I know what's involved in doing stuff like that. It's crazy.
Upshot for us though is, and benefit for us, it's not just the Pro Burnout Series stuff and that long-term thing. We really love killing tyres, love running really successful car parties with our mates.
Yep.
But we walk a bit of a line, right? Because what we do is motorsport, and it says on the back of everyone's ticket since day dot, motorsport is dangerous.
Yeah.
So our insurers, our friends who run events, all of the people that we are involved with or do business with or just are mates with that run similar events that have burnouts, we like good attention, we like doing things properly, and we like other people to do it properly, because if something happens at a burnout, our phone rings, and it's not someone gossiping, it's our insurance company or our venues or something like that. So it's in our best interest for people to do what they do really successfully, because it makes the scene better, but really safely, because it's better for everyone. We all get asked the same question. As event promoters, we've all got to tick the same boxes. If we can help people do that and be really safe, it's awesome. It's actually a win for us. It's a worthwhile investment.
Butterfly effect and stuff, isn't it? So something bad happens, and that's just go bum 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 and affect everybody involved. Whereas also on the other side, something good happens, bum 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 bum, affects everybody as well in a positive way.
Everybody wins if everybody's doing stuff, the right way and thinking about things. And because you're doing burnouts doesn't necessarily mean you're good at running events.
Yeah.
We're not the best at running events. We've just done a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And we think we can help. So we'll talk to anyone. We spoke at other associations and other businesses. And
Well, that brings us to Ray's just, fuck it, he's chomping at the bit. We've known each other for a while now. I can feel his energy right to the side. So go on, brother.
So have you heard there's a new club that we've started there's over in New Zealand. It's called Smoky Valley.
Smoky Valley Burnout Club.
Yeah.
So hopefully about that.
Oh, bro, you let me down. I was expecting you to come out with some real hard sell there, but you basically you dropped the ball.
I knew you'd pick it up.
We've inserted ourselves into the proposal procedure for a drift park here at our local Energy Trust council-controlled motorsport park. And so there's a drift park going in with some pretty decent bits going on, and I've managed to get our proposal to have a burnout club and burnout pad there up to, and I said international spec. Everyone's like, what's international spec? There is no international specs. And I basically go, SUMMERNATS pad, mate.
We're going to design
SUMMERNATS
international spec.
So we basically are just about to get the tick. This is what we're saying. The drift club will get the tick from council, and we'll all go, there's going to be a massive first stage area with a ridiculous pad, and we're going to have concrete barriers that used to be at Pukekohe Raceway. because
right.
Pukekohe are building Thunder Ridge right next door. Thunder Ridge Motorsport fucking track there. So yeah, we're gonna have a Pro Burnouts qualifying event location and pad within the next 5 years. We'll have that
camping. There's camping.
We'll have that pad next year, but in 5 years it'll be potentially Pro Burnouts.
Maybe hopefully before.
That's what Ray wanted to say. We didn't get it all out.
That's where we were heading with that topic.
There's a bunch of other people that have replicated the SUMMERNATS pad, about replicating the SUMMERNATS pad. When they get the dimensions, they spin out because it's so much smaller than they were expecting. When people get here, they said, like to Canberra, they see exactly how tight and challenging the pad is to drive.
Oh, we know. We've got drivers that have been there, they're our friends.
They go, how do they do what they do? And it's just, man, when you see it up close at ground level, when you walk out there, it's crazy what they can do.
So give us because you've got a Merri pad. Give us a comparison.
Yeah.
From your perspective.
Merri pad. I've been a Merri in a very long time. Probably not the best person to ask about the size comparison.
Okay.
But compared to most burnout pads that we go to, with the exception of the ones that are generally at drag racing venues, because they're primarily a racetrack like Merri. The burnout pad is sort of not an afterthought, but it takes the amount of space that they're prepared to give it.
Yes.
Whereas, other venues where there's a skid pan, if it starts as a skid pan, some of those burnout pads are enormous, and it's makes it actually really challenging to fill the place with smoke or to use all of the pad because it's just too huge. Some of the pads, the pad in Connecticut in July at Burnout Rivals, it was so big.
It's like
it was
a football
like a
field.
massive skid pan, and it was just they struggled to fill it.
Yes. So the one of the beauties of the beautiful. There's so many beautiful things, right, about Smoky Valley, and you're going to hear Smoky Valley pad. People are just going to refer to it as Smoky Valley. This is our prediction for the years to come. But we've got the ability, the stage one, which is a fully supported concrete pad, we've got something like 100 and something meters by about 60 something meters wide to be able to make, with these barriers, to make whatever size pad we need to suit any particular occasion, such as possibly a club day or Pro Burnouts qualifying event, or some sort of something that Pro coming along to. So that's, I think.
We even got asked, is it big enough?
Is that big enough?
Stepped it out. He stepped it out like.
And I think if we protested, we probably couldn't got another 20 meters either side. Yeah. So they're really cool guys to deal with. Yeah.
That's good. It's better to have more than you need.
Yes.
And some of it. Yes. Not have enough.
Well, the support that even within the time that all this is unfolding, I mean, that not so much the proposals going through with drift. So that's
that was all undercover.
That's ideally what's going to happen though, is like with the whole burnout with Smoky Valley Burnout Club. All those are going to be members of the drift club.
Yeah.
So it's all we're in all of it supporting the drift track because they've got 3 stages. To date, they've got 3 stages. So that first stage one where we can have the pad down in, that's a huge amount of area. But stage 2 and stage 3 of their drift aspect, like they've got 40 hectares signed up with their lease to work with. So stage 2 and stage 3, that's like they're bringing Japan to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So they want undulated drift
through
track,
the forest,
asphalt. So this is all going to be asphalt as well. So they'll move away from the concrete and rebar, and it's all going to be asphalt. And just ceramic lighting for nighttime drifting. I think they're talking about a larger pit area up sort of end of stage 2, sort of between.
So look, we'll give it. So what? 2025, 2030, we'll have Pro Burnouts qualifier there, eh? Boom,
Keep us in mind,
okay, we'll do that. Well, look, we have to now because we've committed to both.
Yeah.
The other guys will love that. Right, let's move on because we're talking about ourselves.
We just need to Pate and Ellen know.
Yeah, Pate's very interested in with what we're doing because we're actually going really grassroots. This, aside from trying to get the big boys there, this burnout facility would be available to book on a Friday night for 10 fucking Falcons to get them off the fucking pad. There's medical and fire on site plus management. So they'll be able to easily book that pad on a Friday night and get their cars off the road. So it's very grassroots in its essence. And so we're really excited about it.
Why it's going to be important, everyone that wants to be involved, is joining the Drift Club.
Yeah, because
So
we're jumping on the Drift Club. We're like a little parasite on its back. Just going, come on. But anyway, we've got to stop talking.
All I can say, boys, is just make sure you do whatever Barry says.
Yes, no. She's got us dialed. Don't you worry about that. Right, we've got to move on because we're talking about ourselves. And there's a couple of other questions that I really like. Now, Hayden Wilby, Mr. Nutout himself, had asked.
Have you met that character?
Of course he has.
He's a gun. Pew, 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 pew.
I hope he comes back.
Oh, he will, mate. You can't get rid of him.
I think his best mate's bringing his escort over because he might not be bringing that out over.
Yeah, little skid marks going over, little skid mark.
Maybe, yeah.
We got a skid mark poster in our toilet, which I think is quite ironic here at the studio. But the question was, and I really quite liked it, New Zealand and Pro Burnouts, what's the chances of getting a South Island qualifying event? Because there's a ton of pro cars there. There's South Island pro cars coming over to SUMMERNATS 38, or at least one. So what's the chances of possibly seeing an event there that would be a Pro Burnouts qualifier?
That South Island burnout event promoters, I'm easy to find.
Okay.
Contact me.
Pyong, pyong.
And as long as the recommendation stay in the South Island, because I love visiting the South Island in New Zealand.
Do you like the
There's,
seafood?
Mate.
There's fishing and stuff that happens as well. Then,
Yeah. You're right.
That should probably lead me into my question.
Go on then, yeah, it's a good idea.
What's your favourite food, bro? Like, speaking of like, what does it for your tummy?
My favourite food is seafood, but I'm a big Mexican fan.
Oh, nice.
I've got a mate that got me, he's married to a Mexican lady, and they got me on the proper Mexican food and tequila. So, yeah, that's
Mexican food and tequila. Is it the food or the tequila? They both go well.
That sounds like a weekend on the toilet for me.
Yeah, hot food and tequila. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so and I know I've asked, we've discussed this over email once before, but we have had it asked: will SUMMERNATS ever come to New Zealand?
We've been talking about New Zealand as a place for a SUMMERNATS or an event for a very long time. Probably nearly as long as we've been talking about doing something in the US.
Yeah.
Which in my tenure is about 10 years.
Right. Yes.
There's so many awesome cars there, so many awesome car people there, and there's a couple of really cracking venues. So never say never.
Excellent.
I would say don't hold your breath.
Yes.
I would say don't
Rule it out.
there.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear.
I was there for a day and a half in August, and I wasn't there for a holiday.
Right. Okay. Now I'm with you. Well, we won't hold our breath, and but we will see it in the future. And you keep in your mind Thunder Ridge, Smoky Valley.
It's Smoky Valley. That's the best name for a venue.
Oh, do you like it? Do you like it? Oh, we're like
We've got a crew. There's 6 of us, I think.
Real little 6 mixed wreck bag type little characters.
Yeah, and it's so okay. That's cool. And this is a question of mine actually. What would be the chances of the Pro Burnout series adding 6-cylinder classes?
It's a tricky one, right? Because 6 cylinders have historically really done well. Some drivers have done really well and made the series and made finals in their own right. So it's a bit tricky to go an individual Pro Burnout Series class where they just compete amongst themselves, because the best 6-cylinder drivers can hold their own at pro class level. It's a similar discussion to aspirated first blown.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe
I agree.
It doesn't happen nearly as often, but Lynchy's won the Burnouts. I think SUMMERNATS 30 or 31, we had an aspirated winner. Like, it's the blown cars dominate, but not always. And if you've got an awesome car and a really good driver, they're on a level playing field, just about. So what we do at SUMMERNATS is recognise the best 6-cylinder burnout.
Right.
So while it's a level playing field for the overall win in championship level or Pro Burnout Series level, there's a trophy for the best 6-cylinder burnout.
Right.
So we recognise the performance, but if you want to win the big one, you've got to do the best burnout. It's as simple as that.
Hey, no, that's a fair call. And you know what? We've noticed Bobby Stevens, that's on. You know, she just goes in open. She's turbo, so she's induction, but she doesn't even go in the Pro 6. She's just straight into Pro Class open. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
Some really good drivers, and there's some excellent cars. Harry Seaman in Hazard, the yellow V8, I think he's unreal. There's a Blue Falcon getting around that kills it on the daily, and they just, mate, honestly, capable of winning the comp. So
we've got Sean Jury from here, Bearley. So you know, from EA, I think he's on the one, isn't he, for 38?
Yep.
Already. So yeah, we're well aware of the power that they're available, and we're cool with that.
So I got a question, quick. That's
Whoa,
on my
whoa,
top
whoa,
of
whoa.
my mind. Is while we're on that, what's a car that stands out for you in the time you've been involved with SUMMERNATS, like for an event, like? And I'm actually just going to open it right up, not even just the top and skid events or
Like
anything.
the
I'm talking
show
like
shine,
the whole
all that,
show
and the
shine,
hall and everything.
a whole, like just a particular car or something that just took your mind and it was like that one, yeah.
That's a really difficult question.
Yeah, and I'm glad I asked it. I'm glad I asked it.
The easy one, the burnout side, and it was as much the car itself, and it's not a Ford either, it's a Holden, which is a weird one.
It's
for me.
okay. You're all right.
And
It's okay.
And it's a particular performance car, and it's something that a couple of burnout drivers that I've spoken to have listed as probably the best skid they've ever seen. And it was Steve Loader.
Yes. You're not the first one to say that. Yeah.
UC Smoke.
That's a car. Wrong you. Steve Loader
Yeah.
and UC Smoke.
UC Smoke.
Yep.
At Sydney.
Yes.
And it was like, I'm not even sure to win the comp. It was like one of the last skids of the night.
Right.
And the crowd are going apeshit in the stands at Sydney Dragway, and everyone else at Padside is just dumbfounded.
It was. I know the exact skid you're talking about.
Wondering what just happened. Like everybody standing around has seen a million burnouts.
Yes.
And they watched Loader that night just reinvent the sport, and that's stuck with me. That'll never go away.
Excellent.
It was just crazy in terms of show cars and stuff. Man, there's just too many.
No, you nailed it. You nailed my
Yeah,
question.
you know, like honestly,
You nailed
that's
my-
like, as soon as you started saying that, we both knew exactly where you were going to, because that has been mentioned more than once.
So
on the
many
show.
times. A lot of Australians we've spoken to.
We haven't even spoken to Steve Loader yet, have we?
Totally different types of cars, rotaries, and all sorts. And it's like, if you had a chance to drive one skid car, like that stands out to you, so many are UC Smoke, bro. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, I guess
It's incredible, and it's sort of, I'd stop sort of saying it changed the game, but for a lot of people, including a lot of drivers, what the standard actually was.
Right.
In terms of a pro level burnout,
Yes.
it's that, mate.
And it's he turns around. That's like a small car.
It's
Like,
got 4 doors.
He doesn't like.
He's an animal, and then Lynchy and him swap cars, and then that's next level again. That's just,
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
Those fellas are blooming just.
Lynch is naughty. He's cool. So, what was the next question? I want to talk about the USA. So, you guys, there's SUMMERNATS in the USA next year. Congratulations. We're quite happy to hear that. What about Pro Burnouts? Is there as Pro Burnouts in their qualifying series over there with SUMMERNATS Australia comp finals tickets up for grabs, or am I asking questions that might be undercover still?
It's almost the right question. So
Right.
the plan of the idea or the reason for SUMMERNATS USA isn't for it to be on drip fed Australian talent. It's to create a SUMMERNATS experience for our mates in America,
Right.
to be able to experience the craziest festival weekend they've ever been to with their car. That's the reason for it.
Yep.
And what that means is it's an event and a vibe and an experience for those entrants and spectators and everyone involved that serves itself. So if you win SUMMERNATS in the USA, it's not a Pro Burnout Series round for Australia.
Right.
But it's probably a Pro Burnout Series round for the following SUMMERNATS in the USA.
I think they'll just dig it
Right.
and be so into it for an event that it'll be.
So
predominantly
basically, you're
round
saying
as well.
that their own Pro Burnout series.
Yeah, there's so many awesome events in the US
Yeah,
right now,
I can see it.
and we've done nothing in the States so far, right? So at the moment, okay, in Australia and maybe in New Zealand, the recognition's really strong, and everyone knows what a SUMMERNATS is. In the States, anyone that's heard of SUMMERNATS, more or less, unless they've been to Australia to experience it in Canberra,
They
in
got
January,
no idea.
they think it's a burnout comp.
Yes.
Right, and if we get 3,000 entries, only 300 of them do burnouts. Right, so there's a show for those 300 and for the 2,700 or other cars that come that a lot of people overseas, most people don't know about. So there's a bit of an education piece that we've got to do there. So in terms of the States, all we've done is send a few cars over there to help us announce and promote SUMMERNATS USA in March. We get to ride on the coattails of all of the guys from Australia that have travelled there since goodness knows when, 2018, I think. Lynchy and Brasher and Loader and Rob Waters, maybe they went over 7 years ago, 8 years ago, to put on a show, and they went over and did stuff at Power Cruise and just blew minds. In the meantime, the rest of the US are catching on with the burnout thing. Cletus came to Australia, I think January 2017 or 2018, and went, burnouts are amazing, and he's run with it and run 5 years worth of Burnout Rivals events and bought a venue and started running car parties. There's Burnout Wars, Zach and Lacey and those guys. There's Burnout Nationals. There's the No Sense guys. There's all of the guys that have been there since. We've still done nothing there. So as far as the guys that are in the States now and the guys that have been there since 2017, 18, blazing a trail and seeking their fortune in burnouts and trying to educate an entire country, we're the massive beneficiaries of that. So few people know what the SUMMERNATS is, and these legends have been blazing a trail for us. So honestly, SUMMERNATS coming to the States is cool, but we're just one of these unreal events that are already doing some of what we're planning on doing. So we're not resetting a standard. We're not there to take over. Is that we're going at a time where it's just on the up, and it's at least in part due to some amazing Aussies and some Kiwis that are heading there or already spent their time and their money and their effort seeking their fortune and having a party with their car. So for all of them,
100%, mate.
And I think the brilliant thing is that they can do the 30-hour drives. They can do the huge travelling, rock up to a city, but the population of the city, and then you look at stand, it's not like watching NASCAR, but you watch some of Cletus events or Lacey and Zach's events.
It's going to get there,
but
though.
they're just stacked. No, but they're stacked with people. Like there's no short.
Look at what to SUMMERNATS and what we get to AutoFest and Chrome. We're just a tiny little drop in the market. New Zealand compared to Australia, and Australia's tiny drop compared to the United States. So when the motorsport itself of burnouts just starts getting more and more, and people are jumping on board, like the market over there is ridiculous. We're good.
We only need the tiniest percentage of it, right? Like we want to for our mates who love cars, and some of them are getting it. Catching on, and there's one thing that Americans know how to do, and that's build horsepower. And the driving level has just been improving out of sight. So we're going to have a couple of pretty awesome American drivers that have proven themselves in the States at Canberra, in January. And they're coming to compete. They're not for they're there for a party with a good time. They're actually coming with some pretty serious horsepower and some pretty serious talent. And they're not shy, so it's a pretty exciting time to be into skids.
I think about between it fluctuates, but between I think 12 and 17% of our viewers are from the United States.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we've actually got quite a lot. A little bit's from Nigeria as well, which worries me. But I think that's maybe people on VPNs or something. But so we've got a reasonable market there, and we're looking for.
Question I had. Have you heard about Muscle Car Madness here in South Island of New Zealand? It's a 3-day event.
But I don't know a lot about it, right?
Yeah, it's a big one to look up and select for our example of SUMMERNATS. It's 3-day event, but it's almost a week, I guess, for people once they travel and so forth. Pack down and all that sort of carry on. But it's like and amazing. And so I think it's like 30 odd years it's been running now. It's like, it's one of our big car festival-y, you know, sort of events. We've never would love to go to it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a good one.
That sounds like jam. I'd like to get to something like that, South Island, but then also like beach hop and stuff like that.
Yes,
You've got to.
yeah.
You need to commit. You need to commit to a number of events next year, and you know we'll help you out with that. Just turn up, and you know there's so many things that. Okay, so this may or may not have to get cut out. I'm not too sure, but because it may be commercially sensitive. I don't know. I was yarning with fucking Pendlebury last night, and I was like, mate, when are you getting your fucking ass over here? And he says, well, I think I'm going there for Pro Burnout series next year. Is he?
Ah.
He's probably going over for.
Okay.
Right, we're bringing him over here.
We're bringing him over. Oh, of course, because
we took Dave to the States with us. He's
yeah.
That was such a good combo on an ice cream cruise because their local burnout commentator, a guy called Carlos, absolute gentleman.
Yeah.
And we paired Dave with him, and they were just tag teaming the American voice that knew all the American characters and the Aussie voice that knew. So there was probably 20 Aussies there, just absolutely tearing up every single one of them. Okay. And they were a great year, and it's like, well, hang on, Dave's killing it on the mic, and nobody's as crazy or as loud or as good in a cowboy hat. So I think you'll see he pops up at a few places.
Oh, he's such a cool guy. You know, I draw inspiration from him. Really, I really do. And he's never short of a little bit of advice if you got a question, or even if I'm trying to find some clout somewhere. Like, hey, bro, do you know Chris Christo? Because I kind of want his fucking number. You know, no, I don't know him. Oh, well, go on to my next one. No worries. But you know, he's a fucking cool dude. So.
He does a killer job for us on the mic, and everybody knows that he's there. Now, I'm not actually sure he mostly needs a mic, but he does a cracker job. So he'll pop up in his Pro Burnout shirt more often in the next couple of years, I reckon.
Excellent. Oh, Ray's got something else, does he?
No.
Oh, okay. I do though. It may, I don't know, it's a little bit encroached on what we spoke about earlier, but your most memorable SUMMERNATS moment, like actual SUMMERNATS moment, what you got?
Yeah, I got it on them. Probably one I can talk about. Because I went as a punter for a few years, remember?
Right, yes.
Probably the one that stands out to me is, and I don't know what year it was, but it was in the teens. It was SUMMERNATS, maybe 17 or 18. And when we got there, we drive down for day in the early days from the Gong. So it's hours drive down the Hume to Canberra. And we'd go through the gate and we'd make a beeline for the Dyno Comp, the Horsepower Heroes. Yeah. And we were in a big hurry this day because one of my buddies, Tricky, had his like a Vortec blown small block Tirana on the dyno, and he wanted to make 500 horsepower, and we were dying to see 500 horsepower. Yeah. That was probably the toughest car of any of our mates.
Right.
And that was back when they had chassis dynos, and there was two of them, so 2 cages, 2 chassis dynos. And he was first car off the rip that day, and there was a black Commodore on the dyno, on the other dyno getting strapped to it. And it just looked like a pretty tame, early sort of Commodore, really nice black paint job. And didn't have anything hanging out of the bonnet. Right. And we watched Tricky, and he made 520 or something, and it didn't rot itself for once, and we were all high-fiving and loving life. And this Commodore started as the next one, and Pinky, the old commentator, is on the mop, he's ripping it up. And they ran this Commodore up on the dyno, and did it with no fuss, and it was pretty quiet. And it turned out it was a twin-turbo Holden stroker, and that first pass I saw it make was 1,260. The car, a lot of people will know it, a lot of Aussie Commodore people and some will know it was Rapid 8. Right. And it's just one of the most iconic turbo cars, foundational for me, because it just ran up and it was quiet and it did its thing. And this was pump fuel days. This was 98 octane pump fuel days. Yeah. And it made 1,206 on the button, and we all just looked at each other and went, what just happened? And then the place went apeshit, and everybody just cheered. Yeah. And that was 9:30 in the morning. It was just second car off on the dyno that day, and I'll never forget that day. We forgot my mate's car.
Oh, how good. That's incredible. That's actually a really good fucking memory. Oh, sorry. This is to know where I've got to cut. Ray's got to
Pretty
quickly
quick.
go take off. Let me just have a look what we've got left. We haven't really got a hell of a lot left. One of the things we were wanting to know was like Canberra. Did you ever move from Canberra? Is it legacy or
First ever Summernats was there.
Right.
There was a bunch of people that started Summernats, and Chick Henry is obviously the main man when it comes to what we do.
Yeah.
He's the icon. He's the guy responsible for the party we have every year, that we get to have every year.
yeah?
It formed out of more of the street machine nationals and the street riders and all of those guys going, we're not just hot rodders, we don't just park in a field, we want to have a party. Chick Henry said his 16th birthday party was the best time he ever had in his life, and he wanted a car show that was like his 16th birthday party, live music and burnouts and cars and just tearing it up with his mates,
Yeah.
and a couple of cold cans. And
Yeah.
that's what the Summernats is. It's born out of that
Right.
vision, and it's still very much that today. So yeah, that's Summernats in Canberra like that.
Yeah.
The venue is, if we could find another square foot of land in Exhibition Park that we could use for something, we'd use it. If we could find another building to use, we'd fill it with people.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's in Canberra for the same reason that Canberra's the capital. It's halfway between the two people that want it most, so you guys work it out. January next year will be our 38th one, so I think
Yes, bring on 38. Can't wait for 38.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. One of the questions that we've got, one of the lastest questions is, how do we get a Just the Tip and media representative Pat side
we got
at
you back in.
Summernats 38?
Well, I mean, there's a standing invite for you guys to come, so are you coming or not?
We're not coming to 38.
Yeah,
we've just, there's so much we've got.
We're intending to send a representative.
Yeah. We would love to come. There's so much we've got to do at the end of this year and the beginning of next year with us just starting to break out the live stream. So we're now starting to live stream, going to be with multiple cameras that we just live streamed. AutoFest was our first really successful test of the capacity of all the equipment and the satellites and everything I fucking bought. So that worked perfectly. So we're going to live stream our Les Fest in November. We're providing the live stream free. We're going to charge $15 for the live stream, and all that money goes to Sir John Kerwin Foundation for Mental Health. So we're donating all of the proceeds from that. But so going forward though, we're really getting into the whole live streaming of events. So there's just so much for us to do. The end of this year, the beginning of next year, and our burnout season here.
That one that the bro was talking about, and then a week after, we've got a South Island.
We're down to the South Island, Lawrence and the South Island. And
There's problems to have than too many burnout shows.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
You send someone to Summernats, we'll show them a good time, but expect to get lots of photos from
What would really be ideal, and I spoke about it for many a times.
Yes.
Is once the bro and I have a helicopter, the travel between just getting to stuff is just going to be so much easier.
I thought you were going to say, is there any chance we could get Pendlebury to shout us out live on the fucking Summernats feed?
Oh, we don't need him.
Just the tip it.
He's done it before. He's done that already.
Has he?
I did that. I was watching a live on the Summernats, and I was like, "Woman, something or other," and he did a quick little one. It was hard because it's so noisy and stuff going on.
Once you give them a microphone and a burnout pad in front of them, they're off the leash. So
We're aiming to have a ton more t-shirts going over to the next Summernats with just the tip and all over them. So with a bit of luck, we'll get some friggin' logos.
Just let security know there will be this white-looking, sort of dreaded-looking fella. His name is Tim Matthews, and he will be trying really hard to get pad size.
He's polite.
And he'll be like, he'll probably have some sort of fluorescent thing on. He'll be like, I'm tipping media. You should know me.
just tell him no. Treat him like your simple cousin. Just say no. Possibly give him a little spot off to the side where he can record through the barriers, maybe. And anything.
And he'll be happy.
He'll be happy.
we'll show him a good time, boys.
You've got some. If you mingle amongst the Kiwi community that are coming over, you'll see these two, Tim and Bex. They've got a car. They'll talk about little KT5 with a Barra Turbo. They're such genuine people, and you'll love meeting them.
I'll get them to bring a pair of just the tip and G-strings over for you.
I just scored myself a really nice baked cake from Bex for saying that.
Oh, look, They're pretty much exactly like that. Although they are from the South Island of New Zealand, which is incredibly
Really cold.
inbred, is what I was going to say. But that's okay. They know that. I think we've come to the end of all our normal questions.
Have you got any questions for us, bro?
No, well, what's next for you guys? So you're doing the live stream, and I caught a little bit of that. It was pretty cool.
Excellent.
What's the next step? Once you got your venue, are you going to run your own events, or what's the?
Well, I a few years ago now, I attempted to run Dr. Cut's Skid Day Out. And Dr. Cut's comes from, I was at a business, Dr. Cut's detail shop. I was a detailer. I like Fatal Finish, but nowhere near as cool. And into burnouts. So yeah, I think we'll do something like that.
But it's deep into it. We almost like had a booking. Mary couldn't secure a booking date because of around what was going on.
Couldn't finalise the date, so had to pull the pin. But yes, with Smoky Valley, that's not really going to be. That's us personally being involved in that as more of a grassroots thing. Yes, we will. It's all non-for-profit, but if we wanted to run an event there and pay the price, we could run an event. So absolutely. But the live streaming is really big. We're going to hope to start being able to pay-per-view everyone's events if possible, because it's a future thing.
I want to know who your pick is of the Kiwi drivers to excel at SUMMERNATS.
Oh shit.
Okay. Do you know what? I mean, you know the big ones. You know the guys. You know the nut will be barely. But I tell you what, you haven't seen the Luff. Jade Luff, who's going to be in Wilby's little car, Charlotte's daughter's car, Skidmark, the V8 Escort. I think you're going to see some. You're going to be like, wow. And the other one is Nathan Bull in Ghost.
Yeah.
The HQ 1 tonner.
I think, I fully agree. Probably a number.
And
now,
now,
and then there's a twin turbo bloomin' alley Supra coming over. That's badass.
Yep.
But then there's also who's hungry to get over there, and that's Leon. Tainted.
Yes.
Blowing bloomin', which suits. It's almost like the old full on, but different colour, but similar. Like it's just badass, and he drives it bloomin' hungry.
Yes.
And so there's the answer to your question, bro. Is like there's a number.
Third auto fit. It's a bad start. You got some pretty decent hitters there.
Yeah.
And he's had a couple of like last year. So
he got wild card last year.
It was like that car almost should have been over there for its SUMMERNATS already.
It is a beast. Basically.
I think when it gets there and
beast.
he gets to drive that pad, I really think he's going to be someone who'll be like them and like he's focused on what he wants to do. But there's a couple.
Awesome.
Then there's even Ryan. And Violent,
Right.
being there, little bloomin', turbo bloomin' badass little 6-cylinder.
I think you'll be. Sorry?
Is it Ryan Shirkley?
That's correct, Violent.
Yeah.
I think you'll be impressed though with the new guys, possibly that you haven't, may have seen a lot of.
Ghost.
Ghost is, it's an absolute weapon of a car. He drives the fucking wheels off it, and he really deserves to get there.
Small block Chevy.
Yes, small block Chevy, naturally aspirated, but just insane. And then, like I say, the Bluff and the little skid mark, and but Naz in the twin turbo LS fucking Supra, and we've seen that car go from fuel cutouts, ECU cutouts to chrome, where he absolutely just fucking annihilated.
It's bitch. It's his bitch.
That was ridiculous, and I think just
No, gets us. Great question. Love your
really
question, bro.
It's good to know who to be on the lookout for. Usually there's a bunch of Kiwis getting around in matching shirts that all just come and run amok. I brought mine lives here.
right.
You know what? Oh,
We're gonna send you some Just the Tippin' gear.
you know what? The other thing I'm really excited about, and this would be cool, bloomin' telling you, I'm really excited that Munton's allowed to come back to SUMMERNATS 38 cruise. Look at the face.
Insert
Yeah,
video
boy.
here. Insert video here.
Yeah, mate, more burnouts at best, but yeah, we've got to draw a line somewhere, don't we?
Yeah.
He's a good man. He seems like a cool man.
He's-
We've met him. We've met him over
met
here
him.
now. We were so stoked.
We
when met him
fanboyed
at
over him at Chrome. Yeah.
Cracking bar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Cracking guy too.
It's going to
you
come
know
over
what I
here
mean,
one
like-
day. It'll be over here at some point. It's coming here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
coming over here.
Of course it is. We've told them all they're coming over here. Oh, well, that's... Hey,
Yeah.
look, I think that's about it, really. We've kept you
Yeah,
for
my
quite...
cup's full.
We've had a great chat with you and appreciate your time, Adrian. Thank
Yeah.
you.
We're
And
very
we
grateful.
appreciate the support that you've given us as basically a couple of fucking rough bogans in New Zealand with not a lot of experience in what we're technically trying to do, but, you know, we appreciate the recognition. So.
Mate, it's been flawless tonight, so good job and go on. More burnouts at best burnouts. So
There you go.
Don't stop.
Legend. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Fist
Yeah.
me, bro.
Fist things up.
That's
boom,
the one,
boom,
fist
boom,
things up.
fucking boom.
Thanks for
Okay.
joining us, and thank you to everybody at home for watching us. I'm not even going to fucking call you wankers tonight because I think you've been quite quiet.
Yeah, I'm quite happy.
We're going to see you next time. Hooroo.
Thank you, bro.
There we go. Okay, well, that's us, man. Thank you.